Jumping at him early this morning in Como, 9:15, and the student section was packed and ready to rock for the biggest game of the year in Missouri basketball. It's #1 Kansas in town at 7-1 to take on 7-1 Missouri in a series that dates to 1907. With that, we welcome you inside sold-out Mizzou Arena. This is the SEC on ESPN. Missouri has 4 wins against the #1 team in their history. 3 of them came against the Jayhawks. Here's DeJuan Harris, won a state championship playing for Jim Scanlon at Rockbridge High School. Back cut and an easy look for Zeke Mayo.
They took Missouri's half-court pressure, use it against them.
They're the starters for the Tigers, who started the season with a loss at Memphis. That was part of a 20-game losing streak. Missouri didn't win a game in conference last year. Whoa! They added Mark Mitchell from Duke. Used to big games in the Big Ten. They're hoping he brings some energy here early on.
How about David Coit, the transfer from Northern Illinois, making a start for Bill Self?
Barbates for 3. Got it. Kicks downhill. Loose ball, and Kansas wins the floor burn game. Here come the Jayhawks the other way. 3-on-3.
Got to move that ball. Nice.
Dickinson flush.
Well, I thought Zeke Mayo took his time, but it...
Who leads the country in points. Here's Bates.
Good matchup. But now they switch.
Working on Mayo. Turns into a fadeaway. And it rolls home for Tamar Bates. Gave up a 17-0 run to Cal at the end of the first half on Tuesday night. They shot the lights out in the second, and they're continuing that trend to start this game. Mitchell fouled. First on K.J. Adams. Well, Bill Self certainly. Missouri hired Quinn Snyder instead.
One on K.J. Adams.
Committed to play for Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. That coaching change occurred. A drive and a kick. Pump fake 3, and Kansas not shooting the ball well at the outset. And that will go the opposite way.
Great job here by DeJuan Harris. Anthony Robinson has been terrific as a sophomore, but that time a little too aggressive. And Harris held his...
Gray on the glass. Robinson had a sensational second half. Harris all over him, and even with Harris in his pocket, Robinson got it home.
Smart play, because if he had passed it out, it would have been automatically a 3-second violation.
Tigers on a 6-0 run. Dickinson for 3. Whoa, that'll help. This is 4th of the year.
As good as he can shoot it at times, I'm not sure Dennis Gates minds that at all, because Dickinson can do damage much more inside.
It's the first make of the last 8 Kansas attempts. Robinson got a bump, sold it a bit, and gets the whistle.
Foul line.
And Robinson gets the first one to go.
They'll win a few more this year as the young man at the foul line from Tallahassee.
Shooting just 27% to start this game. Denied and taken away. Aiden Shaw stepped through jail. There, get. Denied again. Mitchell, coast to coast, and another whistle, another trip to the free throw line. More.
Lazy pass in the passing lane. Here comes the Kansas City native, finishing at the rim. The defense early by Missouri, absolutely suffocating.
There's a timeout on the floor. They are riled up, Missouri.
Well, sometimes in a rivalry like this, talent is the didn't get a chance to see him. But Coach Stewart.
Kansas is both a coach and a player.
Remember, K.J. Adams has picked up 2 fouls.
On Harris from the corner. Offensive board.
Oh, yes.
Followed by a foul on Tony Perkins.
I'm telling you.
Kokomo High School, the McDonald's All-American, second one coming. 30th to the Jimmy V Foundation. Go to v.org. 1 for 2 from the play to Bishop Miege before Going to Sunrise Christian for a year. Where does KU go with this lineup on the floor? Storr nearly walked with it and threw it in.
KU does not get to the foul line, Tommy.
Missouri shooting 50%. Kansas just 31%. Tigers would run the clock again. Here's Mitchell. To the logo. And he's going to the line.
No reason to foul him right there.
At the free throw line. 2 years at Duke playing for
awful from the three-point line at Duke.
25% from the line this year.
They were brought here to provide some depth for the big three. They did not show up against Creighton, and so far early, they're not playing well.
Bates got it again. He's used every bit of the rim. Missouri made only 3 threes against Cal. They've already hit a couple in this one. Harris goes right down the lane. And he got a whistle on Mark Mitchell. And it'll put Juwan Harris at the free throw line.
Tom.
85% from the line. Certainly was the case Tuesday at Creighton. Harris 1 of 2. Robinson using the screen from Marshall. Dickinson with a rejection. Sent Robinson to the floor.
Yeah, but Griffin got beat off the dribble, which has been a problem on the perimeter. Luckily, Dickinson cleans it up. Can't get into the paint that easily. And a good job by Dickinson. There's more contact on that drive than on Harris's drive. And a good job by Hunter to protect the paint.
First floor action for 21 Peyton Marshall, 7-foot, 300-pound center, St. Louis native. Played his college ball at Georgia, high school ball. Bates now has Zeke Mayo gives it up to Storr, former Wisconsin Badger. Dickinson kicks it out. Point. Second chance. Takes advantage of the mulligan. Transfer from Northern Kentucky, the second active leading scorer in college basketball now. Number 1 on the floor for Missouri. Bates is playing inspired, and he's able to draw the foul on A.J. Storr. That is his second on Storr.
Now, if you haven't watched Missouri this year, you understand why they go to the
percent of the year. He set a Missouri record last year, and he broke
their leading scorer, who is also one of those guys that certainly understands the rivalry with Kansas after his time at Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State, grew up in Wichita. He's probably another couple of weeks away from returning. KJ Adams back on the floor with 2.
Yeah, not a surprise. Look at this. This is unbelievable.
Robinson got his hands on another. And the sophomore with the flush. 12-point Mizzou lead. 8 Kansas turnovers. Adams and 1.
Watch the pressure now. Folks in the SEC, you're going to love Anthony Robinson. He is quickly becoming a great facilitator. He's a great defender. And
Dickinson had only 6.
Kansas has to settle down right.
People seem to play well, and players get up for this opportunity.
Have to. And in this particular rivalry, I mean, the bitterness is palpable. You and I both know that. We've been through this.
Tony Perkins with the lob. It was whistle on the push.
To a flagrant 1. It's going to be 2 shots and then the ball.
Now was the 7th.
Missouri 8 of 15 from the floor. Tigers 2 of 4 from 3.
There's so much time left in this game for Kansas, but they've got to clean some stuff up.
Mismatch. Here comes Dickinson to help Harris. Perkins baseline. Beautiful reverse by Tony Perkins.
Adams has 2. If I were Bates, I'd try to drive him.
Turns into a step back 20-footer. There's the foul, the 3rd on Adams. A.J. Adams can't
do fouls. You can't do that.
On ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. Tigers on a 6-0 run, despite the fact that they're just 1 for their last 7. Jayhawks have not been able to close the gap. Bates in traffic.
Tough shot. Pretty good defense, but Bates went right through Clemens.
Jayhawks scoreless over the last 5 minutes. Mayo all alone. And the Lawrence native out of Lawrence High School by way of South Dakota State. He's got 4 early. You see this lineup very often.
Dennis Gates is a tinkerer, though.
He's not afraid. Shot clock late. Robinson. Whoa! Right on the top of Mayo. Anthony Robinson beats us.
It's been that kind of day. Can't say enough about that sophomore.
Tigers have hit 3 threes in the first half. They've hit 3 the entire game against Cal. Harris, even through the NIT.
Without a question. And this is the best start, I believe, ever for the SEC.
That'll help. Here's Perkins. They get Gray a post touch with a little man on it. Extra pass. And a whistle on David Coit.
What a great possession by Missouri. Kansas never got out.
That's where Kansas finds itself through one half today after the loss to Creighton.
Playing through the paint.
Missouri has outscored its opponents over the last 2 halves 102 to 66. Juan Harris. And a foul on Allen.
It didn't save a lot, but I understand it.
Jayhawks restart their offense. Now at 8. Harris behind Dickinson. Uses them again. Downhill with 4. All the way to the rim. 2 different Tigers on the floor. That's how the half will come to an end. 39-25 Missouri.
Missouri, not perfect, but really, really good. All credit goes to that Missouri pressure defense. And again, I mentioned Anthony Robinson with the ball. I love his game.
He was a great high school player. In fact, the winningest player in Florida prep history at Florida State University High. Bates off the window over Dickinson. And he's off the mark at the mid-range.
This is a danger zone for Kansas. And they can't get blown out if things don't change.
Robinson in traffic. Two-hand flush for Mitchell. Mizzou by 18 early second half. Griffin rips the net for his first bucket. Robinson picked up his dribble, bailed out by Gray. Here's Mitchell, got Dickinson on him, wants to take him to the hoop. Goes right after him and one. Mark Mitchell has risen to the challenge today.
Tell you how valuable he is. Mizzou fans are probably at times wondering why he plays so much, but you're seeing it in this game.
Without a bucket, yet impacting both sides of the floor. Dickinson on Mitchell. Took a victory lap.
I like the fact that Kansas is starting out going to the paint.
What do you like from Mizzou in the half court?
Keep it going. Move it side to side. They've been using the clock well, and their point guard play has been excellent.
Perkins steps through and gets it to go home. It is counterintuitive that Missouri can be the 3rd best scoring team in the country at 91 a game, yet using so much clock. Here's a big reason why. Bates is steal. And one! And he's going to the line, and Missouri is red hot against number 1.
4 minutes of the second half. Missouri stayed and stepped on the gas. Here, they'll win their home games.
No doubt.
But they got to go to places like Iowa State in January.
Mitchell denied by Dickinson again.
Well, they definitely have to play through Hunter, but they got to get the ball to him first. And obviously, the Tigers have a lot to do with that.
Harris left alone, drills the 3, his first of the game.
Problem with Kansas is they're not a pressing team, so they can't speed you up the way many teams can. It's not how they normally beat you.
Tony Perkins picks up his dribble, tries to lob it to Gray. Gray ends up with the point-blank look.
Fans, please calm down. Stop.
They were throwing trash
on
the floor, yeah.
And Billy said, hey, no matter how bad the officiating is, you can't throw stuff on the floor. That got him a second technical foul.
You gotta go.
That was a golden era of Big 8 basketball. Great coaches. And this guy, speaking of great, he's been great.
Dr. Detroit Rich Daly coached that one. DeJuan Harris lost his shoe as the interim head coach. He was a great recruiter for so many great Missouri teams under Norm.
I'll be honest, Tom, I don't have an answer for Kansas.
Storr with a sideliner.
I mean, they're not making shots. They're not throwing it into Dickinson.
The largest margin of victory for an unranked team over number 1 is 20. Perkins gets a bucket.
To go. And the two games they played this week are emblematic of what they're going to see, at least in the upper half of the Big 12. Places like Baylor, Iowa State. So this does not bode well right now for them.
KJ Adams was saddled with foul
for sure. And they're going to have to get more out of the 5 transfers.
Adams gets some. Dennis Gates is saying, you know what, our team is used to big games because we played in them at Cleveland State. And the Kansas players said, buddy, we just played in the Final Four. Kansas was up to the challenge. They didn't have any issues. Missouri was the one that came to play today. Harris gives it up. Extra pass, and Dickinson's got his second triple of the game.
Exactly right.
Theo Barrett on the floor for the first time, number 5 in goal. Storr couldn't follow his zone miss. Dickinson picks it up.
They'll extend the pressure a little bit, but they're not a pressing team. So they've got to get it done in the half court.
Harris lost his man. And it turns into an unguarded 3 for David Coit, second bucket of the game.
Now, if you're a KU fan, you're kind of wishing.
Where do you go for Kansas?
I think you still got to play through Hunter, but you got to shoot the open 3.
On Harris downhill, out to Coit. Coit 10th in the country in threes last year. Dickinson mid-range.
There you go.
Here comes Kansas. It's a 13-0 Jayhawk run.
I'm watching Dennis Gates right now. He's not going to call a timeout.
Downhill, Perkins, no, blow the body. This has been a series of comebacks, and Kansas trying to author a giant one. They were down 24, and now they're inching their way back in. DeJuan Harris. Kansas in 2012 erased a 19-point deficit to win at home. Can they find that magic on the road? Off the rim for Harris. Dickinson ripped from behind by Robinson. Missouri's been in a drought for 6.5 minutes. That nearly solved it. Perkins battles and gets it. And here comes Coit, shot out of cannon. That is another layup missed. Gray downhill, foul by Dickinson. Second personal foul on Dickinson. Do the Jayhawks have enough to battle? Robertson, the St. Louis native, had a taste of the league.
Was my man Jason Sutherland in that game?
He was.
How do I say it?
Hard-nosed players.
Hard-nosed players, yeah.
Easton may be watching today. Just 6.
And they're running out of time because they've thrown away some good opportunities.
Adams gives it up. Coit. Got it. That is his third 3 of the game. He's been 50% from 3 of the last 3 games for the Jayhawks. Tigers have gone ice cold, 1 for their last 11.
Now the difference with this Missouri team that's on the floor now is you have Bates, who's been a bucket today. That could have been a push off.
Gray fires the three. That was a deep two. It was also a no-no yes, and Gates dapped him up on his way past.
You know, he was 1 for 1 from 3 this year. The guy's got range.
I guess he does.
Harris too strong. Dickinson misses another, and he turns it into an and one. Dickinson 65% from the line this year. Robinson, great sophomore season so far. Now Mitchell lost it. Gray finds it and promptly turns it over late in the clock. Dickinson downhill to Adams at one. And the veterans for Kansas have shown up late. First Dickinson. Crowd's not going to rattle him. This is the closest it's been since it was 12-7, 7 minutes into it. Marcus Allen had an opportunity there.
They're going to use clock, but I think you got to play through Robinson on the pick and roll or Bates on an ISO.
Dickinson comes out on Robinson. There's the double. Now Mitchell against A.J. Storr, and Storr commits his fourth.
Now,
this is the first. Mitchell committed to play for Krzyzewski. Spent 2 years with the Blue Devils. He goes 1 of 2 from the line.
little token pressure here by Mizzou.
6-point game, 3 to play. Points hit some big ones today. And he drills another!
Great set. That was by design.
1 possession game. On their feet in Columbia. The lob to Mitchell, no good. Allen cleans it up with a foul. And he'll go to the line. 14 of 15 from the free throw line on the season. ESPN top. Got them both. Couple of huge shots for the freshman, number 4. And Theo Barrett replaces him. Lee Coward wore number 4, hit 2 shots against number 1 Kansas, including one at Kemper Arena in the Big 8 tournament.
Same play, let's see. Ball screen.
Harris hangs and hits, and he's fouled!
Oh, yes. I'll tell you what Harris did. Everybody thought it was going to be
just 8 for 15 at the rim this game. 3-point play for DeJuan Harris. It's a 2-point Missouri lead, what was once a 24-point advantage.
And you want to make Missouri earn it and not foul them. And then you still want to look for Bates right there.
Bates kicks it to the corner. Whoa! That was an arrow for Mark Mitchell. Missouri back up by 5. Bates gambles. Harris will reset with 15. Driving on Gray. Dickinson can't. Gray the board, and then Dickinson a reach-in foul with 1:39 to play. It's the 4th on Dickinson. Carolina for 3 years. Oh, dead arm that one. It was a 3-point game just a moment ago.
Violation.
Zayden Shaw back to the bench. He's going to keep Gray in, even though Gray isn't a great free throw shooter. 97 the last time Missouri knocked off number 1. Coit from deep. Back rimmed it. Robinson came out with it.
I think you got a foul if you're Kansas.
Dickinson tried to. And a good feed ends up with a Tamar Bates bucket. Missouri stretched the lead to 9. 27 for Tamar Bates. Dickinson for 3. Over the back, I believe, on Gray.
love about this rivalry is you go back through time, Bud Stallworth and Thomas.
In the football rivalry, Civil War veterans on either sideline. 11 for Adams.
Ron Franklin and I did that 1916 game.
I think he did. Ron may have done the 1891 football game they met for the first time. The best. 1 minute to play. Adams with a foul at the sideline. Missouri leading by 7. Here's Anthony Robinson the second. Scored 29 last time out. Conley drains them both. Gray will re-enter. Nope. When you play 11 guys, sometimes you change your mind. Dennis Gates has tightened rotation just a hair today. Jayhawks shooting 36% from deep. Point has been the main. And got off balance. Under a minute to play. Mitchell fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line.
When you're down 9, you have to shoot the 3.
Lost to NC State. Whoa, missed it. Kansas with 50 seconds to play. Thought about a deep 3. Riley Griffin now. No. And it's knocked out of bounds by Aiden Shaw. Tamar Bates went down hard. And they're saying that ball.
And I absolutely think so.
I don't know if there's a limit.
Nope.
Touchdown pass to Mitchell. Tiger turnover, 36 seconds left. White has hit 4 threes. Now he opts for the 2.
I think you got to shoot the 3 there.
He's got 14. Kansas down 7.
Number 1 all season long because of the incredible non-conference performances.
That 44-15 is against major conferences this season. Big comeback for Kentucky last night against Gonzaga. Missouri has led for 37-41 of 37-50 so far today. He is 7 for 7 from the free throw line. And he remains perfect.
I'll say this, Tom. And figure out that that's going to be the case in the Big 12.
29-point afternoon for Tamar Bates. And a great ovation for the 6th-year player. Here's DeJuan Harris. Time running out on the Jayhawks. Mayo passes up the 3 and then kicks it back out. He should have shot that one.
No question.
Here's Harris, contested 3 now. Rebound ripped down by Perkins, and Missouri will knock off number 1 for the first time since 1997. This storied rivalry lives up to its billing.
I know what Dennis is trying to do. He doesn't want anybody getting hurt, but it's a good win.
Missouri knocks off number 1 Kansas in a series that dates to 1907. An unexpected Tigers upset. Rivalry was renewed. Kansas got the first home game. Missouri went in there and got absolutely walloped. They have closed the division between the 2 teams. Maybe not the programs, but the 2 teams with the win today. Tamar Bates told you, he said.
He told me yesterday they had a great practice. They were ready.
Dennis Gates was ready. All right, let's talk to Tamar Bates about this win against number 1. Tamar, you told Fran yesterday